What's up? John, Jan, how you guys doing? Dalen, how you doing, buddy? Time to get going. Terry, how you doing, man? Chops bearded in the house. Evening, BS fans. You're right, Dalen. I'm actually in my time zone. I'm not in a different time zone. I might be a different time zone than you, though. I'm in Central Daylight Time right now. Fake dark sleepers right here. Nick, you're the first winner. I tried to fool you guys. I put this big honking question right on the screen. Nick picked it up first. Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. That's the hat tonight. How about that? Who got fooled? I put it right on the screen. Tell me the name of this hat. And Nick got it. Good job, man. You get to spin first. We'll wait for a few more people to hop on, and we'll let Nick spin right away. Normally it takes over an hour before I do a question, but the Kissimmee Cobras. Nope, it's the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Man, as soon as I saw John on the screen as like one of the first ones, I thought, oh, John's going to get this. Jan's in the house. Ajo fishing. Frank's fishing. Vincent Cologne. Yeah, hey Joe. We already did a question. We already did one. Oh, John. Okay. That makes sense, John. I figured you'd know it. I figured you would know it. Hey, Mr. Bass. Caught 2 bass off a new technique I learned. A new plastic. I wanted to try the Berkeley Power Wiggler. And boom, it got crushed. I was so hyped. Nice. Good job, Matt. Eric, 45. How you doing? Rocco. Yeah, I did a question. First thing. Hey, Jeff. How's it going? Oh, Jan's eating. Nice. That's cool, Matthew. The baby bass pattern. I'm going to talk about that some tonight because the last couple weeks I've been fishing a lot of new lures and been catching tons of fish. The Chinook BS fins. The Chinook. Nick picked up 2 dark sleepers today. Nice. Bruce from San Diego. It's still daylight where you're at. Hey, real life. How you doing, man? Yeah, so, hey, Gary. How's it going? Yeah, I broke down and bought some fake dark sleepers. They just came in the mail yesterday, so I haven't fished any of them. And I'm already suspicious of these lures. Yeti Whisper, how you doing, man? Missed you last week. I didn't see you. Were you on Wednesday night? I don't remember seeing you. Okay, Eric sent me a photo. Oh yeah, Eric sent me a picture of his kayak, his new kayak. We ought to I'll show you guys a picture of that. Let me go to my Instagram, and I will show you. Fish Freak's been catching some donkeys too. Let me show you Eric's new kayak first. See if I can. Wish I could make this thing bigger. All right. First up, Eric's new kayak. If I can get to the right tab. It is the Vibe. He's ready to go. Have you had it on the water yet, Eric? Oh, got you, Yeti. Want the Bass Tracker Pro 14 or the Jimmy Houston? Go forget the name. The X21. Yeah, I like having my kayak for small water. And then I got my bigger bass boat. But sometimes one of those smaller tracker type boats would be fun. Dalen and Landon went fishing. Sweet. All right, so that is Eric's new kayak. Pretty sweet. And then check out the donkeys that old Fish Freak has been catching. How about that? Look what he's fishing with, a big old honking worm. That's a good 4-pound fish right there, probably. And then here's another one. Another sweet fish. And then check out this. He's got his old Jewel Baits hoodie on. I just did that Jewel Baits Fish Tools video. That's a nice fish right there. Wonder what he caught that on. And then here, I don't know if that's the same fish. It looks bigger, but if you know how to take a good fish picture, you can make a fish look big. That is a good looking fish right there. Very nice. Matt's up to 18 bass. You're right. That's a swamp donkey. I caught a swamp donkey this weekend. 6.5 pounds. I've caught a lot of fish this weekend. I caught, I'm up to 240 on my count. 240. Still quite a ways off, but I'm 25% there to my 1,000. So not too bad. Seems like my screen. Okay, so he's saying those two fish were different fish. Very nice. I mean, those are some nice bass. Jewel jigs. Shaky head and the Ned rig. Dude, those jewel jigs. Go watch my video. Those things are the bomb. They work. Frank's fishing. The crappie and catfish here are in full spawn. The bass are on bed and won't hit nothing. Interesting. I'd sure be trying. If they're on the bed, especially if you can see them. You're right, Henry. You got to spin for Nick. All right, Nick, let's spin for you. Here we go. What? Is Nick going to land on? Jackpot! Holy moly. Jackpot. Man, Nick, it's your lucky day. 3 lures. Crappie are definitely spawning. Yeah. Congratulations, Nick. 3 lures. You just got to tell me which buckets, what do you want? What do you want? What kind of lures interest you? Rats, too bad. Jackson ought to get his buddy on. They ought to watch together. They maybe could win something. Fisherman 83. Has Nick, I haven't seen a response from Nick on what kind of lures he wants. Did I miss it or? Terry's caught 27 bass. Nick wants 2 hard baits and a miscellaneous. All right. Hard bait right here. 1, 2, and a miscellaneous right here. Okay. Live target frog. Is this a popping frog? Yep, it's a popping frog. And a Baker Lures jerkbait. And a 6 Cents Crush Mini 25X. And that is wild shad color. Dude, those are some pretty sweet baits, man. I got to write you down here so I don't forget you. Nick Corley, 1 jerkbait. Hopper's Frog. Crush Mini 5X. The jackpot, all right. Jerkbait with sexy shad. Yeah. Well, it looks like a sexy shad color to me too, but they call it silverback. And that's because it doesn't really have any blue in it. It's got a chartreuse line and a black back. Pretty good deal for paying attention. He was watching close. Good job, Nick. So what I was saying about the knockoff Mega Bass Dark Sleepers that really makes me wonder about this, whether these things are any good. See what it says right there? They're not edible. Let me tell you something. If my lures are not edible, I'm not interested. So very fishy that a lure is not edible. Wouldn't you agree? Crazy. Some of these colors look very similar to the dark sleeper colors, like this one. It's a little wider. This one's a little different. This one looks similar. We'll give them a shot because I know a lot of you guys are wondering, how do these things compare? So I thought, well, I'll just buy some and we'll fish them, and then I'll let you know. Right on. You never know. I want my lures to be edible in case I'm hungry. The fact that they clearly state on the package, not edible, that's a problem. Here's another weird thing they say about this bait. Now, why would they say this? This sounds very odd as well. Make sure nobody is around while using. Maybe they're fishermen and they mean, look, don't show anybody your honey hole. Don't show them your secret spots. Maybe that's what they mean. But they say right on the package, make sure nobody's around while you're using these. Very interesting. Yeah, Frank, it's the same concept. Open the box before eating. I don't know. Machek did not catch anything. I hate to tell you how many fish I caught today, Machek. Anybody want to guess how many fish I caught today? That'll be the next question. If you can guess how many fish I caught today, you can spin to win. Machek 63. I like your thinking, buddy. Eric, you're an optimist. 100. Oh man, the numbers are flying. I hope I can keep up here. I don't see any. I don't see the right answer anywhere. All right, I'll give you a hint. It's under 50, just so that you're not killing yourself on the answer. Still no takers. This could go all night here until everybody guesses every number from 1 to 50. Oh, wait a minute. Jim Collins, you're the first one to get it right. $47 fish today, boys. It was a good day. And my buddy Dean fished with me, and he caught, I don't know, over 25, I know. He had to leave earlier than me, which is why I ended up catching more. Yeah, it was crazy. How? All right, you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you how I caught these fish because you're probably going to be surprised somewhat. All right, of the 47 fish, I caught 8 crappie. And I'm doing this for a monster bass video I'm making. I've talked to you guys about this little guy. This is the Strike King Bitsy Minnow. And I caught 7 crappie on this little thing today. They really like this a lot. The bass like it too. I caught 3 or 4 bass on this as well. The problem, and I told you guys this on my live stream, the one I did out on the water because I was fishing it that day too. These little hooks are terrible. They're way too tiny. I bent them out a little just to help. But the fish really like it, but the hooks do not penetrate well at all. So that's how I caught about 7 of my fish and a few of the bass. Then I caught a couple of more fish on a vibrating jig, but I caught well over 35 or so on only one lure. And this is it right here. I don't know how to hold this. I guess I'll hold it by the tail. This thing was crushing the bass today. I use the Arky crappie cranks around here and long line them trolling and slay crappie. Sweet. I did not catch any on the dark sleeper. I didn't throw the dark sleeper at all today. You know what this is? You guys know what this thing is? The baby bull gill. Oops, dropped it. This came in my mystery tackle box pro box. Remember I showed it to you guys a few weeks ago. It's the baby bull gill. This little guy, just let me tell you, they love this thing. It swims great. It casts pretty good. The problem with casting is it does kind of helicopter a little bit. The hooks are great. The hookup ratio is fantastic on the thing. And they really think it's a bluegill. It's 15 bucks. You're right, my check. This dude's worth every penny. If you're fishing lakes or ponds that have lots of bluegill in them, go get one of these, man. Dude, I had a blast on this thing today. A blast. And I fished it on 2 different reels because I got a major backlash. I fished on 12-pound mono for a while, and it worked great. And then I had to switch to 20-pound fluoro, and that worked great too. It didn't seem to change the bite at all. Bluegill baits do work very well, Matthew. You are right. Dude, Carl's, this thing, in fact, this thing works so well, I'm gonna go look at the bigger ones now. I don't own any of the bull shads, but I'm about to buy some because that thing's amazing. Nice. Terry's sharing some inside information. All right, we need to spin for Jim. Was it Jim Collins that got the count right? You're right, Matthew. Him partnering up with Catchco Baits was a smart financial move. Weston White caught a spot today. Yeah, that happens, man. They'll bleed. All right, Jim Collins is ready. Let's take this off the screen. Let's spin for Jim. One. All right, Jim. Oh, good. Weston, you caught a 4-pounder. Yeah, if they're bleeding, it's not the end of the world. A lot of times they'll survive it. Jim wants a hard bait. All right. The Monster Bass Patriot 2.0 Spook. It's got a red hook. Weighs half an ounce. This is an interesting color. It's white with the green. The green, that's designed to catch the fisherman. The fish is not going to care about that green at all. But a white topwater bait definitely works. Definitely works. So congratulations, Jim. Monster Bass Patriot. Nice. Octavius is here. Hey, not only that, Matthew, another thing that works is just pouring Mountain Dew or Sprite on the fish. A lot of times that will stop the bleeding and they'll survive also. I just finished up the Bassmaster Open on Douglas. 14th place. Way to go, Alex Reese. Man, you almost got to fish the last day, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, I use treatment on my live wells, but if I got a fish bleeding, I will pour something like Mountain Dew on them also. And it works. It works most of the time. Oh, really? See, I'm not fishing the BASS this year. I forgot about that because they took the championship away and they just got dumb, really. So I signed up for some of the Toyota series, Alex, but congratulations, man. Yeah, that I remember that now that you tell me that. That perturbs me that the co-anglers don't get to fish the last day. See, they don't care. They don't care about the co-anglers. They just want your money, man. That's what that's about. Which is true on really every circuit. Quite frankly, they really don't care about the co-anglers. But they definitely want that money. Blake, I'm glad you joined us. How do you enter to spin the wheel? I ask questions, and then the first one to answer the question correctly gets to spin the wheel. Kick Your Bass is in the house. How's it going, man? All right. Since Alex asked a question, I'm going to, since Alex talked about the Douglas Lake tournament, the next question is going to be about the Douglas Lake tournament, because I actually have some questions aside for that. The winner of the Southern Open at Douglas Lake was Daisuke Aoki. And he's a Japanese angler. He was super excited. What was the main technique he used to win at Douglas Lake? What was his main technique? Kick Your Bass. It is pretty great right now. Alex Reese, how about that? It pays to be at the tournament. He just won. Not only did he get 14th place, he won. He gets to spin tonight. He won on the wacky rig. That was the main technique he was fishing with. He did pretty much finesse the whole time, but his main technique was the wacky rig. All right, Alex, dude, you get to spin, man. Congratulations. So I'm going to go ahead and spin for you. What? Two jackpots in the same night? Oh my goodness. Outside world is in the house. He got 2 hits. Very nice, dude. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. 2 jackpots in one night. All right, Alex. Pick your poison. What do you choose? Yeah, Eric, I think you're right. We've maybe had two jackpot night, never a 3. Alex, you want 3 hard baits. I think that's what you're saying. Correct? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. What do we got up here? We've got the Berkeley War Pig. This is sexier shad color. We've got another live target poppin' frog. This is tan brown color. And we've got the Guggen Clutch Sriracha Craw. How about that? Man. The Guggen Clutch live target brown tan frog and the Berkeley War Pig. Wow. Pretty nice, pretty nice. You are welcome, Alex. Thanks for participating. Recommend any crappy jig brands. I use a lot of the Bobby Garland stuff, but we'll probably have some guys on here that'll share with you, Andrew, their favorite crappy jig brands. Bait room tour. Yes, Nick, we can do that sometime. I can't do it for my computer, though. Maybe Maybe I'll do a bait room video. I could try to do a live stream, but I'd have to do it on my cell phone somehow to make it work. Yeah, Strike King stuff makes good crappie lures as well. Forgot to tell you, Mr. Bass, the hookup tackle again sent me 3 depths bull flats for free by mistake. Oh, man. Did they ask you to send them back or did they let you keep them? That's a good dude. That's a good deal right there. That's crazy. Yeah, Theodore. I really like the Bobby Garland stuff. I do. All right, I was going to show you guys, talk to you about some other stuff I've been fishing with. I've had so much luck on kind of some new technique stuff. Let me see here. Somebody's sending me. Let me check my Instagram here, see if I got something else to share with you. Alex sent me something. Oh, yeah. This is Alex Reese out on the tournament trail. Dude, that's some nice smallies. Check out Alex, guys. Nice. Look at that big smallie out front. That's a nice looking smallie. How much did that one weigh, Alex? You got 7 depths bull flats for free and the 5.4-inch ones. Golly, that's pretty sweet, man. Almost 5 pounds smallie. Dude. You want to talk about a football? You're right, Eric. 5 pound smallmouth is no joke. That is very nice. He's got another picture here too. Let me see it. Look at that largemouth. No wonder you were in 14th place, dude. That is some nice fish. Well, funny you should ask, Jim. I got one right here. Congratulations again, Alex. That's awesome. First smallmouth you ever caught was a 5-pounder. Well, that's a good. They're not all going to be 5 pounds. I can guarantee you that. The Guggen clickbait. I fished with it this weekend, and I do not like it, Sam. I am. Here's one of them I fished with today. I did catch a few fish on it. How do you guys like it? I got a few things that disappoint me about this bait. Why am I blurry here? What's going on? Okay, there it goes. Definitely caught a few fish on this today. But here's the problem that I have with this clickbait. Couple of them. I fished it a lot this weekend. In fact, I made a video where I've seen comparison videos. In fact, Get Your Fish On has a very good video. You could go watch his channel where he compares the clickbait to the jackhammer. And it's a really good video. But I was thinking And he proved, I mean, basically through his video, he kind of shows the jackhammer is way better. And I think the jackhammer is way better. But the jackhammer is $16. This thing is only $8. So I got to thinking, what is an $8 vibrating jig that works great that I could compare to this? This is $8. And it just so happens that Z-Man makes this chatterbait here called the Project Z chatterbait. It is $8. And this is a very good chatterbait. It's not the cheapest chatterbait out there. It's got a little better components than the cheapest chatterbait. It has a different tie, line tie on the blade. And my buddy Noel swears by these. These are all he fishes with because he doesn't want to pay $16 for a chatterbait. So I went out and fished this and this together. And the bite was really slow. But this chatterbait outfished this thing 5-to-1 easily. 5-to-1. One of the problems with this thing is it rides up constantly. You can't keep it down in the water. And I thought maybe I had a faulty clickbait. So I tried a different one because I had 3 or 4 of them in my bag. I bought 3 or 4 of them. And no matter which one I tied on, they all rode up the same way. And then I thought, well, maybe it's because I got 20-pound test on. That's what I throw my chatterbaits on, is 20-pound line most of the time. This trailer is a Zaco Machek, Yamamoto Zaco. It's my favorite trailer. So then my buddy Dean met me out there, and I gave him one of these clickbaits, and he was throwing it on 12-pound mono, and he had the same problem. It kept riding up, riding up, riding up. The only way I could get this bait to stay down is I had to turn it so slow. It's just crazy how this thing rides up in the water. In fact, if you turn it too fast, it's almost like a wake bait. It just skims along the top. It's ridiculous. The only thing that is really good about this bait, and it has to do with this blade configuration, I guess, is it works great in timber, around wood. You can throw it in all kinds of wood, and it does not get hung up. The chatterbait gets hung up almost every time if you hit a piece of wood with it. But this thing doesn't. It goes over wood really well. So if you're fishing a ton of wood, in fact, I decided I'm going to keep a few of these for when I'm just fishing heavy wood, and I'll use it for that. I mean, it looks good. It feels solid. It has a good hook on it. But man, the chatterbait's way better in my opinion. So that's one man's opinion, Jim. That's kind of the way I feel about it, though. They say you can adjust that, huh? Well, how? How do you adjust it? I guess I could look up on the internet and figure that out, but $7. There's several models of the chatterbait that are really, really good if you don't want to buy the $16 one. What's Matthew say? I buy the decoy chatterbaits that come with weight versus solid head and can use it for punching or bed fishing. Will chatter even on the fall. Yeah, I haven't ever tried those. Yeah. Okay, Henry. Thanks for the heads up. I will try to look that up and figure that out. It does work. A topwater chatterbait, right? Jeez Louise. But I was really impressed how well it works around wood. BS fins, it definitely vibrates less. In fact, you can't really feel it vibrating much, but you can tell it's vibrating. If you watch through your rod tip, you can feel a little bit. But if you watch the rod tip, you'll see the rod tip doing this and you know it's vibrating. The other problem with it is when you cast it out and it first lands in the water, it takes a couple of cranks of the handle for it to start vibrating. And I don't like that. I'd like for it to be vibrating immediately. Yeah. How about that? That's pretty funny, isn't it? Well, my check, the original Z-Man chatterbait definitely catches fish. In fact, you guys remember when it first came out, it was the deal. Everybody was in love with that thing. It slayed fish, and it still catches them. It really does. It's a great lure. He definitely is a fish catcher. I'll show you a picture that my sister sent me. She caught a nice bass today. She was bragging about it, saying she should be on my channel. Guess what? She is now. I bet she didn't know I was going to do that. She probably would have wore different boots anyway. That's probably a 2.5 pounder she's got there. So not it's respectable. It's a respectable bass for sure. Yeah, you're right. 3 to 6 feet, man, before you're feeling any vibration. And I actually have one time where I threw it out there to a stick up, and it took a couple of turns for it to start vibrating. So I didn't get any fish. Then I threw the chatterbait in the same spot. And of course it immediately starts to chatter, and I caught a fish immediately after it hit the water. So it was a good example of why you want that thing to vibrate immediately. Yeah, well, you know they got to be working on it. They got to be working on a bladed jig. My next wife. My next wife will like to fish. Well, my sister, her husband likes to fish. He's a good fisherman. So the whole family fishes in their house, and that's pretty sweet. Yeah, my check. I wish we could get somebody up there that you could go fishing with that could help you out, because I don't know. Your odds of catching fish are probably highest with a worm. Maybe you should just fish with a worm for a while until you start catching some. Don't know about JR Custom Lures, Frank, but some of those, you know, I talk about my rumble fish all the time. The rumble fish is a great bladed jig. They don't make it anymore, but I love that thing. It really catches fish well also. So I'm going to put the video out of me catching, fishing clickbait versus Project Z. Same money. And hopefully you guys will like it. I'll show you another chatterbait that I really like and didn't know I would like it so much because I have never bought one of these. But this is a bait that I got from Burley. If you go watch the Burley video, unboxing video, he sent me this one. It is the Z-Man Cross Eyes chatterbait. And it's pretty much, I think this this actual chatterbait is pretty much the same as the original chatterbait. Maybe you guys know that the blade looks like it's the same. The difference is it's got these weed guards on here. And I don't know if I like them. I think I would rather just cut them off and just fish it without them. I kept catching fish. I caught a lot of fish on this, by the way. I've got a video of that too. I don't know if I've posted that video yet or not. But, you know, the fish's mouth, of course, a lot of times, you know, they've got to get to the hook. And in order to get to the hook, they've got to get past these weed guards. And these are not fiber. They're like wire. Listen to that. They're like wire. They're really pretty stiff, which I thought, hey, that's cool. I haven't fished it around a lot of wood, though, and maybe I'll like it. I'll fish it around wood. But I just kept, I felt like this gets in the way of the fish biting the hook. They're really stiff. So, any of you guys fished the Cross Eyes? This is what it looks like, the package. Cross Eyes snag resistant bladed jig. It definitely catches fish. The keeper's really good. Are you talking about to hold it on? I mean, I've got my trailer on, but this trailer I fished, I bet I caught easily 10 fish or more with this thing, and the trailer's still going strong. What they do is put their, let's see, put their cross-eye jigs with a chatterbait. Yeah. Right. See the cross-eyed jig head? So this piece here is just a cross-eyed jig is what he's saying. Put a chatterbait head on it. It worked well. It worked really good. Do you feel the color of the blade and the chatterbait matters? I think it does sometimes. Yeah. In fact, I was wondering about the clickbait. If you notice, this clickbait has a shiny silver blade that I was throwing yesterday. And the Project Z that I was throwing has a gold blade, and this one, like I said, was wearing them out compared to this. And that's another thing I wondered, is does it have anything to do with the gold blade versus the silver blade? I think it has more to do with the action, but that's a consideration. I do think color matters sometimes. No, my check, it does not have to match. As you can see right here, this is a red and brown jig, and I got a black and blue trailer. as a black and blue trailer, and it worked great. And the reason I put the black and blue trailer on is because the water I was fishing was super muddy. So I put a really dark trailer so they could hopefully see it. So no, you do not have to match the color. Like this here, you notice this one, I've got a white and chartreuse skirt and pretty much a green pumpkin chartreuse laminate trailer. It does kind of go with the chartreuse, but it's not white at all. And it doesn't have to be. The fish don't care. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. Daniel, they say it does. I have only fished it the one time, and I didn't have a lot of wood to fish it around, so I don't know. Yes, my check. You absolutely can. Here's another thing that a lot of people tell you, like there's rules out there, but rules are made to be broken. You can throw 9 times out of 10, if you're in dark, dirty water, they say throw black and blue, throw dark, which is absolutely true. But you can throw black and blue in clear water too, and a lot of times it catches fish just fine. So you just got to experiment. It is not, it's like they say, the fish don't read the rule books. So natural colors in clear water is definitely the way to start, but man, dark colors work in clear water too. Listen to what Matthew's advice here. I usually try to throw a different pattern trailer than the color of the skirt and make it look more natural, realistic. It's all about the silhouette. I was curious if you got your buzzbait out of the tree. Yes, I did, Jim. I got it out. I had to use my 8-foot long anchor spike, but I got it out. It lived to fish another day. All right, let's do a question. Let's do another question here. Okay, this is a good question here. This is a story I told in the last live stream about my buddy Joe, okay? And him and his wife on his honeymoon. So here's the question. If you watched the live stream last week, you'll know the answer to this. My buddy Joe, who is a super avid fisherman, divorced his wife on his honeymoon so he could go fishing. True or false? My buddy Joe divorced his wife on his honeymoon. Oh, some guy said true. It's false. Matthew's right. He's the first winner. It's false, but this is a good story. He went out to on his honeymoon. He promised his wife his new wife, he would not fish on his honeymoon. He promised her he would not do that. But he did convince her to spend their honeymoon at the lake. So while they're at the lake, the water was down several feet. And he remembered a spot that was close to the shore where he had dumped his boat over and lost his tackle box and a couple of rods. So he went down to that spot, and the water was low enough that he could wade out in the water. And he found the tackle. He took it up to the hotel room and cleaned it all off in the shower. And then he spent his honeymoon fishing. Oh, man, what a story. So, no, he did not divorce her. They've been married many years. They're still married. But he did go fishing, even though he did not take any fishing tackle with him. Joe's a nut. All right, Matthew. We got to spin to win. All right. I don't know if I can afford 3 jackpots in the same night. There we go. What? Are you kidding me? Man, I gotta oil this thing or something, or put a weight up here so that the Mr. Bass always lands at the bottom. The jackpot. You guys are killing me. Three jackpots. I think it's been 3 in a row. Well, maybe not 3 in a row. Holy moly. This is unbelievable. I'm going to have to quit asking questions tonight just so I don't run out of lures. Oh, man. That was crazy. 2 hard baits and 1 soft bait. Okay. 1 soft bait will go here. And all right. 2 hard baits, 1 soft bait. We got a new record, 3 jackpots in 1 night. Okay, for the soft bait, we got a Z-Man Finesse Frogs in red bone. Finesse Frogs in red bone. Finesse Frogs. Okay, and then for hard baits, we've got the Super K Jigs Walkabout Topwater. This is a small walking spook type lure. It's 1/3 of an ounce, so it's pretty small. It's kind of a perchy color. That's the Super K Walkabout. And we've got Lucky John's Flat Crank 60 DRF. This is a mystery tackle box exclusive crankbait. Does it say what the color is here? Give me a color number for this, Jan. It doesn't have a color. What color number should we give it? I refilled the bucket there, Jan, so the hard baits is pretty full right now. It goes quicker than anything, though. All right, congratulations, man. The Lucky John Flat Crank. Number Jan says number 5. It's either number 69, number 2, number 3, number 5, or number 4. Good color combo. Man, congratulations, Matthew. Crazy. crazy odds of that is minimal, like small top water anyway, small cranks. Okay. Wow. That's something else. All right. How many of you guys watched the Burley unboxing video? His and mine. I'm going to do another one of those. Did you guys like those? What's your best shaky head setup? I fish a shaky head on a spinning rod. I think most guys do, but some guys will use a bait caster. I like a little longer rod for that, so usually about a 7-foot rod. So the next one I'm going to do with Get Your Fish On. He and I are going to do a tackle swap, a tackle exchange. And I'm sending him lures out of my tackle room. I hand selected $50+ worth of tackle, and he is sending me some tackle from his sponsors. He's sending me a wholesale group of lures to show us how many more lures you can get at wholesale price. Hated his video title. You at least put his name, but he only put another YouTuber. Yeah. I'm talking to Debo, Daniel, so hopefully we'll get that worked out. Yeah, I don't see any point in trying to hide another YouTuber. That's why I'll wear their hats and wear their stuff. I mean, you know, I'm sharing the love. I don't really care about hiding. I'm trying to help him as much as I can. So Get Your Hooked On has been in the industry for years and years. He really knows his stuff. And I think the tackle he sends me is going to be very good stuff. Blind to Bind is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Back to the shaky head setup. I fish my shaky heads the same way I do a lot of my spinning techniques. I use 15-pound braid, and I use a fluorocarbon leader. And I use a medium spinning rod with a fast taper, usually. Not extra fast, but fast for shaky head fishing. That's it. There's nothing really too magical about it. It's less about your setup and more about how you move that bait in the water, which is very, very subtle movements. Very subtle movement. The water can just move that shaky head for you most of the time. You just barely need to move it. What's my favorite spinning reel? Man, my favorite spinning reel. I love Shimano spinning reels and Iowa spinning reels. And I don't know that I have a favorite. I love all of them, to tell you the truth. They're great. If I were going to just pick one, if I could only have one, and I didn't want to spend $700, but I wasn't going to spend $80, somewhere kind of in the middle, I'd probably get that, what's it called? The CI4 Plus by Shimano. I think it's called the CI4 Plus or the C4I Plus. I think it's a CI4 Plus. That is an excellent spinning reel for the money. It is really, really an awesome spinning reel. Yeah, I've got the Stratic as well. Blind to bind up. It's great. I've got the Stella. It's amazing. I don't have any Abu. I do not have any Abu spinning reels. I do have some Abu bait casters. Yeah, the CI4 Plus is probably, I think for the money, it's one of the best ones out there. It does not break the bank, but it is high quality. Brian, I would say the David Dudley 7.3 spinning rod gets about a 5 out of 10. And here's the reason why. It's a solid rod. It's pretty light. It's there's nothing wrong with it except for a couple of things. One, it's a little too long to be versatile. I think it needs to be a little shorter. He's saying this rod is the only spinning rod you need. It's going to cover all your spinning techniques. I think it's a terrible rod for drop shot fishing. I think it's a decent rod for fishing light jigs, fishing worms, fishing even a shaky head. I think it's a bad Ned rig rod because it's medium heavy. If they're only doing one spinning rod, it's the Proficiency rod at Walmart for $80, $79, $80. If they're only doing one spinning rod, medium heavy is too heavy. They should have done a medium rod at the heaviest to cover more techniques. Medium heavy is way too heavy for so many finesse presentations, finesse techniques. So that's why I give it a 5 out of 10. If it were just one of, say, 4 or 5 different models they have, then I would say it's probably better than a 5. But it's just not versatile because it's so heavy. Not heavy as in weight, heavy as in power. What's this about the Stratic? And the Stratic CI4 Plus are the same reel, just different rotor material, I believe. The Daiwa BG is great also. I've got quite a few Lew's bait casters, and I like them all, but I don't have any Lew's spinning reels. Started throwing my jerk baits on a spinning rod, a lot more in a bait caster, and seem to be catching more fish. Sweet. My buddy Joe loves to throw jerk baits on a spinning rod. I still use a bait caster most of the time. Of course, Jim. What kind of question is that? War Eagle spinner baits are off the charts, amazing, but the buzz baits are fine too. War Eagle makes great stuff, man. Okay, let's do another question. What's the time looking like? Oh, we got plenty of time. Okay, I'm going to ask a couple of questions about the Burley videos, either my video to him or his video with my stuff. So we'll ask a couple of those. Let's see here. What Ned rig bait did I send to Burley? What Ned rig bait? I already did the hat question, my check. It was first thing. I'm only doing one hat question a night. John Gill. John Gill got it. It's the yammy fish. I love the yammy fish. How many of you guys have fished the yammy fish? It is a very good Ned rig bait. I recommend it. All right, John Gill, let's spin for you. A yammy fish spin. Oh, man, I thought, are we going to get a jackpot 4 times? All right, that's more like it. A 1. Finally. Dude, BS Fins, go check out the old yammy fish. It's a great Ned rig bait. John wants miscellaneous. Where's the miscellaneous bug? Right here. All right. I have 1. The green fickle. Hammerhead. Speaking of buzz baits, this is not a War Eagle. It's a green fish tackle buzz bait. Green fish tackle makes good stuff as well. Congratulations, John from Canada. What up, James W? Monster Energy Supercross race. How about that? Well, you could go see a Supercross, but man, you'd miss out on Mr. Bass, the Mr. Bass show. What's better than that? What could be better than that? Yeah, Matthew, my autocorrect is infuriating. I just need to turn that thing off. I totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. What is this? I love my Jamaican boa buzz bait. Almost sounds like a whopper plopper. Man, I've never even heard of that. I got to check that out. You're right, Frank. Every Mr. Bass Live is epic. It is so epic. It's out there. It is crazy how awesome Mr. Bass Live is. Speaking of Mr. Bass Live, next week I am out of town and may not be available. In fact, while we're talking, I need to look up my flight information and see. Because I may not be around next Saturday. Let me look at my calendar while we're talking here. I should have planned this a little better. Yeah, I'm going to be in the air next Saturday night, guys. So, that ain't work, is it? Let me see. I could do a Friday night live maybe next week. Well, I'll try to decide this week, and I'll let you know Wednesday night on the Wednesday night live what I'm doing. No, I am not fishing. I am going to Idaho to visit my daughter and her family. Oh my goodness, kick your bass. This bladed jig rod from G. Loomis is off the charts amazing. How much money are you wanting to spend though? Is $355 too much? Because that's what the IMX Pro bladed jig rod costs. And it is, I am loving that rod, and I've tried a lot of rods. It is great. For bladed jigs, it is very, very good. If you're wanting something cheaper, my wife just said, yes, it's too much for a rod, but what she doesn't know won't hurt her. Yeah, this is it right here. The G. Loomis IMX Pro, I don't know if you can see this. 883C BJR, the bladed jig rod. This thing is great. It also is great for spinner baits. It's just a great rod. I'm amazed by how much I'm loving this thing. And that's what it costs right there. Now, Yeti Whisperer has some sort of deals where he says he can he can make pretty good deals on Loomis rods, but I don't know how to do that. I just got to go pay retail. Here you go. This is a wise woman right here. She knows what she's talking about. Kick your bass. I did buy it at Rogers. Yes, I did. It is an amazing rod, man. I've got a lot of Dobbins rods, Eric, and I like them quite a bit also. I also have some of those St. Croix glass rods, and they do quite well. They do quite well for chatterbaits as well. I don't know how much money those things are off the top of my head. I'm going to, Maciek. I'm going to do a couple more questions on that. Which one is this you're talking about, Matthew? Oh, you're talking about Dobbins rod, I guess. Heavy 7-4. Yeah, I like the Dobbins rods. The reason I quit buying Dobbins is I've had a lot of breakage with Dobbins rods, and I don't want to say a lot. I mean, I had one rod that a buddy of mine broke fishing, and then I've had guides break off of them quite a bit, and rod tips break off of them quite a bit. I used to buy tons of Dobbins rods, but I kind of off those now for those reasons. But they, I like them. I do like them. Oh man, Here's another great rod, Legend. That's the St. Croix rod. The St. Croix Legend rods are amazing, and the Legend Extreme rods are one of my favorite rods on the planet. I love those things. Yeah, Gary, was that not the weirdest, goofiest looking thing? I was trying to just give him one goofy lure that I thought was ridiculous. It's called the iVibe bladed jig, and it's got 2 blades on it. I mean, who in the world came up with that thing? And good luck trying to convince me that it makes any sense at all. But look at what this thing costs here. I'm going to share it on my screen here with you so you can see what ridiculous lure this thing is. Look at that. That's it right there. The ABT Lures iVibe bladed jig. It has 2 blades on it. Reach deeper depths and stay in the strike zone longer with the double bladed design of the ABT Lures iVibe bladed jig. Having 2 blades creates more drag in the water and encourages the iVibe to run deeper in the water column compared to a single blade vibrating jig. Holy moly. Have you ever heard of anything so ridiculous? Ha! That's a good idea, James. A number on the wheel where I get a pie in the face. That would be great. Double pleasure. Frank, that's what they should have called it. The ABT Lures double pleasure bladed jig makes a lot more sense than the iVibe. Silly, silly, silly. Roger, how you doing, man? I as soon as I saw this, I was like, I gotta send this to Burley. And if you watch Burley's video, he actually thinks it's a serious lure. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him I meant it as a joke. And he's like, I don't know. This he was trying to not insult me, but that thing was just hilarious. I was thinking, man, the stuff we fall for, and I'm guilty of it, man. I've bought a lot of goofy stuff through the years, but man, a double bladed jig. All right, here you may say to yourself, well, that thing about getting down deeper, that makes sense. Here's what makes even more sense. If you're going to spend $16, go buy a jackhammer. We know those things work. We know they catch fish. And if you want to get down super deep, buy a 1 ounce. It'll get down deep just fine for you. Double clapping. That is hilarious. Well, they got on Tackle Warehouse's website with it. That kind of surprised me. All right, let me ask another Burley question here. All right, what is the name of the topwater bait that Burley sent to me? Oh, Andy's barking. What is the name of the topwater bait that Burley sent me? All right, Daniel, you're first. I'll let the ribbit, or I'll let the ribbit slide. It's technically the Buzz It by Ribbit. It's a ribbit frog on a buzz bait blade. Andy, what are you barking at over there? This is what he sent me. I have fished with this, and I haven't caught anything on it yet, but I think it's going to catch fish. The ribbit frog I've been fishing with for years anyway, and that's a fish catcher. And this little buzzbait blade actually works really well in water. It's got a really nice action, and I like it. Believe it or not, this looks kind of gimmicky too, but I like it, and I am very confident I'm going to catch fish on it. The Buzz It, the Ribbit Buzz It. Here's what the Buzz It by Ribbit. Daniel gets to spin. All right, let's do it. Okay, here we go. Jan's got the drum roll going. Whoa. I wonder what's going on to make it. It's like everything's landing on that top spot tonight, but nothing's changed. So, all right, Daniel, you got a one, buddy. Pick your poison. If my wife rigged the wheel. I don't think she'd rig it so that I'm giving away 3 baits at a time. All right, Daniel wants miscellaneous. That's over here. All right. All right. Swim baits, whale tail, plastic swim baits. Just trying to see if this has a color. We're going to have to give this a color number, guys. Paddle tail, swim baits. Definitely will work. Color number 32, according to John Gill. All right, nice. Oh, man. Good times for sure. Mr. Bass glued a weight on the bottom of the wheel. Well, I should have done it so that it landed on a 1 every time and not a 3. Root beer float. That's not a bad looking color. Root beer float, maybe. Yeah. Whale Tail's new paddle tail swim bait has already become a proven fish catcher. Hand poured for superior consistency with a super thin tail. Or the old dirty stinker color. That's not bad, Jan. Sand brown, Machek, yeah. I could go for that. Have any of you guys fished this? This thing's been out about a year now. I've never fished it. Glide, walk, swim, shimmy. The ICBM. Made by River to Sea. Any of you fish this thing? That's the bone color. I got a couple of them. And this is the mullet shad. Anybody fish these? What do you think? Are they any good? Are they another Are they another double-bladed chatterbait? The Mr. Hanky color. ICBM. Anybody know anything about them? What's the scoop? What's the intel? The ICBM. I'll take one out of the package in case you guys have not seen one up close. Oh, I know why he's barking. There's somebody shooting off fireworks. He is not like fireworks at all. So look at the profile of this thing. The head narrows down right here. It's a pretty big bait. My wife. The double-bladed chatterbait is going to take the world by storm, and I'm going to have to eat my words. Guess it wouldn't be the first time. You're right, John Smith. That's exactly the intercontinental ballistic missile is exactly what they call it. No, this is not Guggen. This is River to Sea. River to Sea makes this. It's a fairly new bait. It's about a year old. You're right, Porter Russell. It does sink 1 foot per second. Yes, Daniel, she did change her screen name. I did not make her do that. She did that on her own. River to Sea makes the Whopper Plopper. You're right. I mean, they make some good stuff. Larry Dahlberg has been designing baits for longer than a lot of you guys have been alive. And he's the designer on this thing. It is heavy. Well, there's different ways to fish this. You can fish it. Like a topwater plug. Walk the dog with it. You can walk the dog with it, they say. You can swim it. You can fish it like a glide bait. You can reel it and then stop and let it shimmy down and then reel again. You can twitch it. It's different. That's what Larry likes. He likes to create different lures, just like he did with the Whopper Plopper. But I don't know. Monster Bass gave me $5. Thanks, man. Don't get the hook in your finger. That is a good tip. Do not get the hook in your finger. Why didn't I think of that before? Such good advice. Try the brim slide. It's a topwater plug considered, but really a topwater glide bait. Weighs 3 ounces. How much does this cost? Good question. I don't remember. I will look it up though. Monster Bass. They know about this lure. Solid when the water temps are around 55 to 58 degrees. Funny, Monster Bass should mention that, because guess what? You can get this in the Monster Bass box. Dude, this is a high quality lure. $15 lure. And it's in the Monster Bass box. Crazy. $15. John Gill, that's probably not Rick. It could be, but it's probably Rafi, who likes to jump in swimming pools. That's what he does on his live streams. He jumps in swimming pools fully clothed. Oh, nope, he's saying it is. It is Rick. Right on, right on. Nice to have Rick with us for sure. In fact, this is a Monster Bass lure. This one I was telling you guys, I was showing you guys earlier in the show that I've been working on a video on it. Look at that little sucker. This is the variety you get at Monster Bass. You can get this sucker or this. The Bitsy Minnow in the multi-species box. It's a fish catcher. Got to figure out what to do with those little tiny hooks, though. The bluegill were sucking this thing in easy peasy. But when you get a bass on it, those hooks are too small for the bass. Although I got a couple of bass in with it. You're right, Jan. I think I've got one. I need to put that up. Hey, how about that? You'll all buy one, huh? All you need is a Mr. Bass code, and you'll all buy a box. Holy cow! I gotta get Rick on that. Man, Fisherman 83, you're not kidding. This little hook will go in your finger pretty easy, but I'd much rather have that in my finger. Dude. There you go. Save 10. There's your code for Monster Bass. Save 10. Go buy the box. And you can save 10 today. It's hot. It is a hot, hot box. For sure. All right, so let's do another question. You guys are breaking the bank tonight with all these jackpots, but I'm a man of my word. All right. I don't know if I've asked this question before or not. I think I have. Maybe I should ask a different one. Well, I'll ask it anyway. Okay, here's the question. I'll try to make it a little more difficult. Here is the question. This is how I'll make it a little more difficult. When I go fishing, sometimes Goofball goes with me. Where does Goofball sit on the kayak? Where's his favorite place to sit? Let's put it that way. He sits in a lot of places. Where is Goofball's favorite place to sit? Rocket City Trash Pandas. Okay. Front's too vague. You got to give me more. You got to give me more than that. Front, back, and middle, that's too vague. Got to give me something more specific. All right. I'll let this pass. On the front deck. Not just the front. I mean, there's lots of fronts there. Front deck, which technically is the bow. The bow hatch is where he likes to sit. He sits on the bow hatch. In fact, I got to get him some padding so he doesn't slip off, because I know he's going to slip off one day. So he has 3 places that he sits. He sits at my feet, kind of in front of my seat, behind my feet. He sits on the bow hatch, which is his favorite spot. And he would sit on my lap if I would let him do that. And he tried that multiple times, and I usually just push him off because it's a total pain in the neck to try to pedal a kayak, fish, and have a dog in your lap. Ridiculous. All right, let's see here. We got Machek screaming that he said front hatch. Let's go find him. Here he says in your lap. Here he says front, which I said front's not specific enough. And about 8 people said front before that Machek. All right. Then Machek said back. Then Machek said middle. Then Machek said in front of you. And then Ronald said the front deck. So where, Machek, did you say? Oh, here's where Machek finally says on the hatch in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places after Ronald. Sorry, Machek. I got to give it to you, though. You tried. You put every answer you could possibly think of out there. I like your tenacity. Here's where he says, I said the front hatch. Yeah, you did. You just said it too late, buddy. And James said bow. He did. You're right, James, but it was way after Ronald's front hatch. All right, Ronald. Dude, let's spin for you. Are you ready to spin, Ronald? One. That's what I like to see. Yeah, 1. Now we're talking. While we're waiting for him to give an answer, I thought I'd scroll back up here and show you that Monster Bass code one more time if any of you want to see it. There it is. You can save 10. Eric, Machek, you win some, you lose some. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, Buttercup. Machek's a good dude. Machek's won in the past. He's had some good nights for sure. All right, Ronald wants a hard bait. Some hard baits. Here we go. All right. It is the 6 Sense Lures Hyper Jerk 70. How about that? And this actually has a color. It's called 4K Shad. 4K Shad. Congratulations, Ronald. 6 cents. Writing this down here so I don't forget it. Hyper Jerk 70. Right on. How much is a monster bass box? $35. So you can get $10 off. That's $25. If that's what the code save 10 means. I think it means save $10 on your first box. Oh man. Chris Hill, you got it, dude. I said the front hatch. I just didn't type it, but I did say it first. Dude, man, sometimes that's what we it's like, geez. You young guys, you 14, 15-year-olds, you might want to check out the multi-species box because you can catch crappie, bluegill, bass, all out of the same box. It's a really nice box for pond fishing. All right. See you, Nick. Have a good one. Okay, let's is there anything else I was going to show you guys? I think I covered everything. All right, I'm going to do an under 15 question. We've got quite a few kids on tonight, so we'll do a 15 and under question. We haven't done one in a few weeks. I can't remember if I did 14 and under or 15 and under. All right. If you are under 15 years old, we'll say. So if you're 14, 13, 12, 11, my check's only 1, he says, so he qualifies. You can answer the question. Obviously, it's the honor system. So here is the question. What question am I going to ask? All right, here we go, guys. This is if you're 14 and under. Here's the question. My latest video that came out today talks about one specific fishing technique. What technique is it? I was catching fish on one technique in this video. It's in the title. What technique is in my latest video? Garrett, are you under 15? Because you're the first one to get it right. Garrett 27. The 27 throws me off. You're right. It's a buzz bait video. And not just any buzz bait. It is the Booyah Squelcher that I got in my Monster Bass box. That buzz bait is awesome. It's also the same buzz bait I got caught in the tree on my other live stream on the water, if you remember right. All right, Garrett is 13. So, dude, you are the winner. Congratulations. Bryson, buddy, you did not get it first. They always want to say, I got it first. Go back and look. Eric Brewer had the last comment. Then Garrett answered buzzbait, and Bryson Hubbard was right behind him. You were just missed it, Bryson. But Garrett beat you to the punch. Sorry. All right, Garrett, let's spin for you, buddy. Here we go. Oh, the suspense. The suspense. One. All right. Okay. Congratulations, Garrett. You are a winner. Let me know if you want a hard bait, a soft plastic bait, or something from the miscellaneous bucket. Oh, I know. I could tell it. He was trying to get me. He wants a hard lure, hard bait. Here we go. It is the Guggen Squad Banger. And is this Sexy Shad? It looks like, yes, it's Sexy Shad. How about that, man? Congratulations, Garrett. You are a winner. Garrett. 27. The Guggen Banger. Square bill. Can't go wrong with a square bill. Cannot go wrong. Congratulations. All right, dudes, we are winding down. Swat caught a 4-pound bass on that lure, Garrett. How about that? So there's proof that it will catch a fish. Swat Fishing caught a 4-pound lure, a 4-pound bass last weekend on that very lure. We only give you winners on the Mr. Bass Show. Everything we give away is going to catch you amazing bags of fish. More fish than you can imagine. It's just unreal how lucky the lures from Mr. Bass Channel are. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Next up, next live stream is going to be Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I'm going to do later, though. I'm going to do 7:30 Central Wednesday night. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you catch lots of lunkers. Join the challenge to catch 1,000 fish this year. See if you can catch me or beat me. See you, Roger. Have a good one. Ajo, adios. Fisherman 83, Dalen, Jan, BS Fins, Eric. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. We will see you next time. Happy fishing. And we are ending in 3, 2, 1.